Hello, everyone, and I hope you're well. My name is Tanner Dagenais, and I'm the host of Self-sabotage Solutions. On this podcast, it's my opportunity and my pleasure to be able to share everything I know about self-sabotage, why it happens, why it occurs, and how you're able to overcome it. And so I'll be talking about a variety of different subjects that have to do with self-sabotage, health, wealth, relationships, mindset, procrastination, all those different things that we could be self sabotaging in our life. And so today, I'm going to be talking to you about health and 12 different things we can do to make sure we're as healthy as possible and so that we can actually lose weight. So we can actually lose the excess weight. So I should be more specific about because we don't want to just lose any kind of weight, right? We want to get to a healthy spot with our bodies. We want to be able to find our body's perfect homeostasis, our perfect spot for us to be healthy and at the perfect way we should be. And so this is why I'm going to be talking about these different things, and these things will be all encompassing. So it's like a whole holistic view on how to make yourself as healthy as possible. So the very first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I brush my teeth and scrape my tongue. Now I know a lot of people are probably thinking, "Whoa, he brushes his teeth before he eats. What's going on?" Well, what you may not know, or maybe you do know this, is when you're sleeping, your mouth is closed, right? And it actually becomes a very wet and dark place. And a lot of bacteria actually ends up growing in your mouth over the night. So, what you want to do, and this is before you're drinking any water in the morning, you want to be able to scrape your tongue and brush your teeth. Because if not, you'll be swallowing that negative and harmful bacteria into your gut. And why this is important is that you want to have a strong, healthy gut because your gut is a big way that we are able to, protect our bodies, be able to absorb the nutrients we need, and to be able to get rid of toxins. So, and I'll be talking more about that in just a moment, but that's why it's so important that you do this before you do anything in the morning. You brush your teeth and you scrape your tongue. And I don't know if you ever scraped your tongue before, but you'll be surprised if you ever do it. Now, don't force it hard on your tongue. Just do slowly, glide along on your tongue, and you'll get this large amount of gunk off your tongue, especially if you've never done it. And you know what I found is very interesting is that I'll have more gunk on my tongue in the mornings. Even though I've done the tongue scrape and the toothbrush the night before, I'll have more in the mornings compared to the night before. And a lot of it does depend on what you're eating. Because if you're eating a lot of junk and crap, let's just say, then you're going to have more gunk on your tongue. So you want to make sure you eat healthy, of course, but scrape that off. Scrape and make sure you are brushing your teeth as well. Then wash your mouth out with some good clean water. I'll talk about how important the clean water is in a moment. So then the next step is we want to avoid toxic hand sanitizers and soaps. And this is kind of for the same reason that we're doing the brushing our teeth or scraping our tongue before we consume anything in the morning or drink anything in the morning, is because these toxic hand sanitizers and soaps, they actually kill the good bacteria on your body, because when you put these on your skin, you absorb into your skin, and these have been proven. A lot of like the mainstream ones like Purell and like antimicrobial soaps have been proven to be able to destroy, really they don't have a prejudice on which bacteria they kill. So they often kill the good bacteria first. They kill some of the bad bacteria, but the bad bacteria usually are more resistant. And so they're able to protect themselves from this, and they're usually the ones left standing. So then we end up having a bad balance of good bacteria to bad bacteria. And I'll talk more about how important that is in a moment. So, your body absorbs whatever you put into it. So you got to be careful what you're putting onto your body. If you're still wanting to use hand sanitizers and soaps, make sure you're looking into the ingredients in your soaps and hand sanitizers. There are healthy options out there. There's some hand sanitizers made with essential oils that are like essentially really condensed down plants that are able to actually protect you without harming your body in the same way. So look for the healthier ingredients. Look for a way to protect yourself without compromising yourself at the same time. The next one you want to look at is consuming products that provide healthy bacteria for your stomach. And now you might be seeing a correlation and with everything I'm talking about, and a lot of it has to do with the bacteria in your body, right? Your bacteria in your body, like I was talking about before, is so important. You know, um, they when you have a healthy gut microbiome, which is essentially the gut and the bacteria in your stomach, you know what will happen is you can absorb more nutrients. You'll be able to remove toxins more naturally, and you can protect yourselves with a stronger immune system because your stomach is actually one of the most vital parts of your stomach or of your body for protecting yourself and for absorbing food from the nutrients from your food that you're eating. And that's the main reason why we're eating food in the first place. So there's some great things you can do to build that healthy bacteria in your stomach. So you want to be, drinking products. There's some products you can drink like kombuchas or kavitas that are really good because they have a lot of good probiotics in them. I would just warn you with kombuchas, a lot of them have caffeine in them, and that's something you might want to be avoiding. And I'll talk more about the caffeine in a little bit. So then we look at providing or foods you can eat. So there's pickled foods. So there's a really good pickled foods you can eat like sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, jalapenos. Those sorts of things usually have some good bacteria in them. I found a really good raw organic sauerkraut at Costco, and I really like that. My body likes it, and I enjoy eating it. Then you could be taking just like pills or supplements like probiotics. Now, there's a really great product I did find that is specifically aligned for, building and supporting that healthy gut microbiome. Essentially a holistic supplement because it has a mix of prebiotics and probiotics, and it has, um, you know, uh, fulvic acid and humic acid mixture in it as well, which is important because not only does it have the good bacteria from the prebiotics and probiotics, but it has um, and the fulvic acid and the humic acid, which have been known to be able to help your body transfer nutrients into your cells and increase, your absorption rate of those nutrients into your body. So this product is called Biomedic, and I just recently started taking it, and I found it, and it's so awesome. So it's by a company called Purium, and if you are interested in it, I'll put the some information down below about it. You can always reach out to me. I do have a discount that I'm able to offer you for it. Then we're looking at and the cool actually thing about this product as well. Not only does it boost that stomach, the bacteria in your stomach and make it so you have some healthy bacteria in your stomach, is able to remove glyphosate. And removing glyphosate or Roundup is so important because not many products can do that. And our bodies have a hard time of actually removing this from your body. And the more toxins we have in our body, which is glyphosate would be considered a toxin, the more we're going to have problems with weight issues and health issues. And I'll talk more about that in just a couple steps. So, this product is very great because it's holistic. It looks at the big picture and helps you on a holistic level on all the levels of your body and encompassing that to make it so you are healthier overall. Now, I do want to talk one last thing about the bacteria in your stomach. The reason why it's so important that many of us address this is because the ideal balance for having good bacteria to bad bacteria ratio in your body is 85% good and 15% bad. But today, with so many toxic products, hand sanitizers, the overuse of antibiotics, because antibiotics actually do kill all bacteria. It kind of works the same way with the toxic hand sanitizers. Now, antibiotics can be very good for you in certain situations, but they are overprescribed, and then many people don't actually go and do the work to build back up their good bacteria afterwards. So most people have a 15% good bacteria ratio to 85% bad bacteria ratio, which causes our microbiomes to be broken and diminished, and we're not able to absorb the nutrients from the food that we need. So it's like a compounding effect because not only are more toxins able to get into your system, not only Is there more bacteria in your system that's harmful? You're also not getting the nutrients that your body needs to be able to operate efficiently. So it's so important to be able to protect your body and to be able to build a strong, healthy gut biome. So the next step I want to talk about is the nutrients, and that is something that's so important. So one way you can get very good nutrients in your body is to be eating, whole organic foods. Now, what do I mean by organic? Or most of you guys probably heard organic, the phrase organic, but you may not know actually what it is or why it is actually important. You might just think it's a buzzword. You might think it's some foo-foo, made up stuff that is like a con for getting people to pay more money for it. But really, what organic food is the same food that our ancestors used to eat. Yes, that is exactly what organic food is. What we have today is something much more um, harmful for the majority of the non-organic food that we're eating because it's covered in pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, all the ides, which is essentially, toxins, a bunch of chemicals within the food or sprayed onto the food because they're saying it's easier to farm or easier to protect it from bugs or whatever, right? Mass produce it. The problem with they're focusing on quantity over or quality or quantity over quality, but really when you're eating food, you want to be eating the most highly quality, the best quality food you can because food is exactly how we're able to protect ourselves. You know, and not only just food, more specifically the nutrients in the food, right? Because that's why we're eating. We're eating so we can get the nutrients our bodies needs so they can actually protect themselves, so they can function correctly. So if you're not getting the nutrients you're needing and you're consuming foods that are full of toxins, this is going to have a compounding effect again, and you're going to be gaining that weight. You're going to be, having problems. You're going to have be low energy, and it's going to lead you down towards a path of getting more and more obese, more and more diseased and sick. So something you can do is start to buy organic foods. And now it does cost a bit more. I'm not going to lie. The reason why you're paying more for the organic foods is they have to go through certifications to prove that there is no toxins within them, that there is no chemical additives, that there is no pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides, that they're not grown in a harmful way, that they're not GMOs, genetically modified foods, because those things have a harmful effect on our bodies, and that's what you're paying for, is the proof that they're not harmful to you. And the way I think about it is, what would you rather pay for? Food that is literally poisoning you and making your life worse off. Sure, you're able to survive because our bodies are very amazing and very capable of being able to keep us alive in that situation, but you're not leading your body and your health to a good area. You're slowly poisoning yourself into an early grave or into a harder life, a life that's full of low energy and getting sick all the time and doctor's visits and just not feeling good and possibly depression because your mind and your body are so connected. Now, if you are looking for alternatives to be able to eat organic food, maybe you don't have enough time to be able to make your own food and you always eat out all the time. Something you can do is look at getting like organic superfoods, like a green drink, something that you can take on the go and get all the nutrients you need in one quick drink. And that's something I've just recently got into. I'm partnering up with Purium, and I talked a bit about it with the Biomedic. That product is from them as well. I got the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Kit, which is supposed to help not only provide the nutrients you need in your body, but build your microbiome and help you detox at the same time, which I'll talk more about how important detoxing is as well. But with these organic superfoods, you can get everything you need within one drink. And the very cool thing is the way that they've been able to dry these superfoods out so that you can have this powder. Not only does it make it very convenient because you can take it anywhere you need, you just pack up the bag, and it's not very heavy. All you need is the shaker bottle, some water, some good clean water. I'll talk about how important that is as well. And this powder, and you can make a drink, and you can be able to have essentially a full meal uh, with just that, with just a drink. And the cool thing is that It's not very expensive. Like when you go to the store, like it's $3.50 for one organic pepper, which is super expensive. But you can actually, and it used to not be that much expensive, but prices have been rising. But this product, I've been able to get this whole kit for like essentially which is $11 a day, and I get two whole meals out of it and supplements and this great biomedic product. So I am like absolutely blown away by how great and amazing this product is, and I know this may sound like it's like an advertisement almost, but the reason why I bring it up is because it's so important that you provide your body with the right things, right? And there are ways and alternatives to be able to afford these things or to be able to get that healthy food on the go. You're not stuck eating out the McDonald's or eating Burger King or doing whatever. You can find ways to make it easy and still be able to get those nutrients that your body needs. So next, let's look at detoxing toxins. Why is it so important that we detox the toxins or get those toxins out of our body? Don't we have livers and kidneys that can detox them for us? How come, we're not all dying if we're full of toxins? Well, that's a very good question. And I'll explain exactly how toxins work within your body and how your body is so amazing, right? It's so powerful. And just the fact that many of us are alive is just blows me away every single day because so many of us are consuming these toxic products, essentially poisoning ourselves every single day. And yet we're still alive, we're still functioning. And obviously not to the best of our abilities, but we're still functioning, we're still alive. And that just is so amazing to me. But what your body, and that's because your body knows how to protect you. Your body does everything in its power to make it so you're able to survive despite the high toxic load within yourself. So what you can do, or this is how toxins work, right? You eat something or it goes into your skin and your body will try to filter it out. The first stop is through your stomach, then it goes into your livers and kidneys and it tries to protect them there. Let's say your livers and kidneys are too overloaded and they don't have enough, either energy or they are just overloaded on toxins and they can't take in anymore. Your body will start to store those toxins within fat cells. So any fat cells you have will start to be filled with toxins so that essentially the fat cells will act as like a little protective mechanism to keep your body safe so that the way those toxins aren't floating around in your bloodstream and going into your head or other vital organs of your body, right? But let's say your fat cells are all full. What will happen? Well, your body will start to create more fat cells and more fat cells and more fat cells to store these. And this is why we see people becoming so obese because they're consuming these toxic products day after day after day, and they're overloading their bodies and their kidneys and their detox systems in their bodies. So their body is doing its best to protect itself. So that's why you see them getting that weight. They see them constantly gaining that weight. And then what your body will also do with these fat cells is it will take the intracellular water, which was inside the cells, and start to move it outside as extracellular cellular water to even protect the fat cells even more and protect your body from releasing these toxins. So when you see people with like the flabby arms, with the extra double chins, the extra jiggly legs or whatever, that is because you have those extra toxins in you. And I'm not bringing this up to make you feel bad or to, attack you, but you do need to realize that there's a reason why you're gaining this weight. There's a reason why you have that flabbiness in your arms, why you have that double chin or that, the extra jiggly legs. It's because you're consuming those toxins. And what you need to do is to start addressing that. The first step is, detoxing is great, right? But if you keep putting those toxins into your body, detoxing is not going to do its job. It will help, but you're going to have all those toxins back in your body anyways because you're consuming the same products over and over. So what you really want to do is, change what you're putting into your body. Eat that organic food. Stop putting the toxic hand soaps and sanitizers on yourself. Cut out the toxic products and start working towards putting good things into your body. avoiding the toxic products and put in high nutrient foods, replace it with high nutrient foods. This will have a great effect on you because not only will you start, being able to function better, you'll still be able to have more energy to do things. You'll have a more clear mind. That usually people will say I felt like there was like a fog lifted away from their brain and they can start thinking clearly again. When they start to get, rid of these toxins and start building up nutrients in their bodies. So addressing the toxic load in your body is important, but you also got to stop putting that toxic load in your body at the same time. So ways you can detox these toxins. Well, you can do different programs. There's a lot of different detox protocols and things like that. The problem is a lot of them don't have to do with actually changing your lifestyle, like I was talking about just a second ago. You need to change your lifestyle so you're not putting these into your body. So, these quick diets or these quick things like that oftentimes aren't going to do the trick because you might eat healthy for like a month or so, or do something healthy for a month or so, and then you go back to the same old thing you did before. And you got to watch out for a lot of these diets as well, because a lot of these diets are more like fads and they can be harmful to your body if you're doing certain things or restricting certain things out of your diet. You still want to be able to get that full amount of nutrients in your body. You just want to cut out all the junk. You just want to cut out all the crap that you're putting into your body. Um, so detox yourself. Now take it slow when you're detoxing yourself, because like I was talking about before, with the toxins stored in your fat, as you start to detox, your fat will start to get released because your body's able to take it on more. But if you detox too quick or start losing your weight too quick, all those toxins can flood into your system at once and you can get sick. So you need to be careful how quick you are detoxing. But a great product for detoxing and a great way to be able to detox is this ultimate lifestyle transformation kit that I was talking about. Because not only does it have, the organic superfoods, it has the biomedic, it has to build up your gut, it has also a detox. They call it the super cleanser within it as well. And it's able to help detox your body that way. Okay, so exercise. Another great way to be able to detox your body and to be able to lose weight is by exercising. So you don't have to go to the gym. You can actually do these workouts straight from your home. You can just, if you don't work out very often at all, or not at all even, and you are overweight, just start with walking around your neighborhood. Just start with parking your car at the end of the um, parking lot and walking into wherever you need to go. Get those steps in to start moving your body, to be able to help your body, because our bodies are meant to move, right? For thousands and thousands of years, we have been very active peoples, but now we have these new technologies. We have cars and we have things like that, so we don't have to be as active, but our bodies still crave it. Our bodies still need it to be able to function correctly. So you got to get that exercise. You can get a good workout and within 10 minutes. You don't have to spend a whole hour at the gym. You can go like and do a high intensity workout and get it done within 10 minutes, especially at the beginning, unless you're trying to get like super ripped or whatever. If you're just trying to get healthy and get a good exercise in for the day, you can get it done within 10 minutes. Do a little routine of like jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, those sorts of things that you're able to do very quickly, very easily. You don't need to buy any external weights or exercise machines. You can just use your body and its weight to be able to start building your health. So that brings me to sleep, and I can actually tie in the exercise with getting good sleep, because getting good sleep is very, very important. And when you exercise, it can be be a very good way to be able to get more sleep throughout the night. So because it helps not only tire out your body, but it's been proven that exercising can actually help you get good sleep. So, and actually they did a study on this. So what is the best time to exercise if you want the best sleep, right? They found in the morning time is the best time to exercise if you want to be able to get a good sleep. So in the afternoons and the nighttime aren't as effective as getting that good sleep. They're still helpful. I think they're even better than not doing it at all. But yeah, you do need to get the exercise. You do need to be able to Then rest, because something I also want to talk about a little bit is, sleep slash rest is really what it should be, because in between working out, right? You gotta take breaks. You can't push your body too hard. There's a lot of people who go into exercising and they abuse their bodies that way. They go way too hard, too fast, and they end up hurting themselves, or they end up burning themselves out, right? You don't want to do that. You want to be able to give your body the time it needs to be able to build up your energy, to restore your energy levels, to be able to rebuild your muscles, right? Because that's the reason why you're working out in the first place, so that you can become healthier. So you're not trying to break down your body. You're not trying to beat yourself into submission. You're trying to help yourself out. Think of it as like that, as like a loving kind of thing. So, work out one day, take a break the next day. If you're just starting out working out, you might need 2 days in between. And that's okay. Just be consistent and don't give up on the process. The next thing you want to do is get that sleep, that deep REM sleep. Many of us sleep, but we're not actually getting the sleep that we actually really need, right? We are maybe sleeping for 6 hours, or maybe even 8 hours, maybe even 10 hours, but we're waking up feeling not rested. We're waking up, throughout the nights. We're having problems actually getting that deep sleep, that deep REM sleep. And that deep REM sleep has been proven to be the thing that is actually so helpful for your body. So we go through different cycles when we're sleeping. And so when your body goes into that deep sleep cycle, that's why it's so important. That's why there's different naps that people recommend, like length of naps. Those are based usually off your REM cycles, right? So ways you can start boosting your sleep. Exercise was one of them. Another one is things that you do before you go to bed. So, and actually things you consume. So and this is where I talk about caffeine, because caffeine, it can be so harmful for your body in so many ways. And so many people think it's such a good thing. It can be helpful for you, but they don't actually talk about how it can be harmful for your bodies. So the way caffeine works is it actually raises the cortisol levels in your body, and it activates your flight or flight response systems. So it's been proven, and they've done brain scans, MRI scans of people when they consume caffeine before and after, and they showed that their brains lose about 40% of the blood flow to their brains, because, and this makes sense, because in flight or flight, your body is sending blood to your arms and your legs so you can either fight or flight. This is why so many people feel, energetic or, energized when they drink coffee, because their body's in that flight or flight response system. It's essentially a stressed out state that has allowed you to be alert, and make quick decisions. And so when you're in this kind of state, you're not thinking long term. You're thinking short term. You're thinking about, how can I protect myself now? How can I go do this? How can I run away? This is what your body is meant to do when it's in this state, to protect ourselves, right? And this is actually what happens when you drink that caffeine. So that caffeine is actually using up your energy much quicker, and it's not providing any new energy. It's just using the energy reserves you have now instead of, throughout the day. And it's something that you need to be aware of, because it puts people into a negative energy cycle, which is what I like to call it, because it provides that fake energy, and people think they need it to wake up, to do the certain things. And so, how many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, I'm not me without my morning coffee," or "I'm just so exhausted today, I need my coffee," or "I haven't had my morning coffee, my mind's in a fog right now," right? People believe that they have to have their coffee to be, a normal functioning human being. They have to have their caffeine to be able to go throughout their day. And that's just not a healthy dependence. And it's not the truth, because no one actually needs caffeine to do these things. It's that you've let yourself into this negative energy cycle. And part of it actually might be that you're not getting the nutrients you're not needing. You're overloading your body with toxins, so you're more depleted in that area. You're not getting exercise to be able to boost your body's strength and those sorts of things, and you're not getting the right sleep that you need as well. So sleep is so important. And one other thing you can actually do with sleep, beyond that, and So we want to avoid that coffee, right? We want to avoid the coffee and the caffeine. And if you're insisting on drinking coffee, make sure it's organic because, um, pesticides, sorry, coffee beans are one of the most highly sprayed um, plants in the world with pesticides and herbicides and fungicides. So you are getting those pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides within your coffee and caffeine as well. So be careful of that. And actually, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to avoid caffeine as well because that caffeine, stresses your body out, and any amount of stress in your body can be harmful. You can essentially turn into a toxin within your body, and cause inflammation and all different kinds of problems. So it's a good way to just kind of step away from the caffeine, and not only will you be saving yourself and promoting your health and be able to boost your sleep, you will be able to um, save money because it's so expensive, right? But then if you insist on drinking caffeine, like I said, do the organic, and then if drink it at the right times during the day. Drink it only in the mornings. Avoid the afternoon or the late at night because coffee has a long half-life in our systems. So if you drink coffee in the afternoon or in the night, it's still going to be in your system. It's still going to keep you in that alert state, that fight or flight state, and it's going to be harder to go to bed. And that's why some people have problems sleeping. Another thing you want to look at doing with sleeping is to avoid screens. Light bright lights on your phone, on your TV, on your computers. If you're going to be on these things, you need to have some kind of blue light protection that will be somewhat helpful. But the reason why these lights are harmful is that our bodies, based on the lights that we get into our eyes, we absorb them through our eyes, will create different chemicals. So if it's daytime, we'll start getting serotonin into our bodies. So we wake up, we get energetic, we start being more active. If we get if it's dark out, our bodies will start to produce that melatonin and be able to help us fall asleep, get more sleepy. And that's why that's so important. You want to be able to get that sleep. You want to be able to get that melatonin into your system. And actually, a cool product within that lifestyle transformation kit that I'm using right currently is this cherry drink. It's essentially like a super it's essentially a cherry drink, and you use only like 1 ounce of it and mix the rest of it with water. And what it's supposed to do is it's like a concentrated cherry, essentially like a dark cherry. And it's supposed to help you not only produce your melatonin. You're supposed to drink it 30-60 minutes before you go to bed. It's supposed to help you get a good night's sleep because you have that more melatonin in your system. It's supposed to help reduce inflammation, which is very helpful for getting your body healthy and losing the excess weight. So that's another great product that I've been taking as well, and it tastes delicious. So then you want to look at, avoiding those screens, avoiding those things at least an hour before bed. Or like I said, if you insist on doing it or you have to do it, use the blue screen protection. Filter out your blue screen. A lot of phones have that option. A lot of computers have that option. You can set up a blue screen protection. You can get some glasses that have blue screen protecting like filters on them. But the blue light, not blue screen. The blue light is one of the things that is actually can help, that actually prevents us from getting a good night's sleep and messes with our systems there. So the next thing you want to look at is the clean source of water, drinking for both drinking and daily use. So what do I mean by clean source of water? Many people think that just the tap waters we have at home are clean sources of water, but they fail to realize that there's a lot of things in our tap waters that don't get filtered out. There's a lot of things that our water systems, they are a lot better than we used to have back in the day, but now they are adding in, chlorine as a purifying agent, and then even some places add fluoride, and they say it's to help whiten our teeth and for bone, like boost our teeth, but it's been proven to be very harmful to our bodies. It's another toxin that goes into our bodies along with the chlorine. So, they're not going to kill you, but they're going to lead you down towards a path of being unhealthy, just like the other toxins within your body. And then there's also other things in the water um, that can't get filtered out. There's like pharmaceutical drugs that get flushed down the toilet, and there's a whole slew of different things. And I can promise you that there is a lot of things in your water, because I've lived in a couple different places now in Colorado, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And what I do is I filter out my water just using the basic Brita filter, right? It's like $20, and that I use that to help get out the chlorine out of my water and to get some basic things out of my water. And then I actually distill my water because I really want to make sure there's nothing harmful within it, which makes it just a very basic water with nothing in it at all. It's literally just H2O, no minerals, no nothing. And so usually add some salt in, but I get some minerals in, depending on how much um, salty foods I get in my system. But yeah, I use both those together, and every time I distill, even after I filter the first time, I there's this thick residue at the bottom of my distiller. And I don't know if you know what distilling is. Distilling is essentially boiling the water. It's kind of like in science class where if you boiled like whatever substance you had, things would get left behind that weren't able to be boiled out, right? That's the same idea with distilling the water. Is it boils the water, turns into water vapor, and then it condenses it back into water into a container for you. So everything that can't be boiled out is left behind, and there is a thick layer of gunk almost every single time on the bottom of my water distiller, even after going through a Brita water filter. So it's important that you look at that and see, what is happening with your water. What are you using it for? Is it clean? Avoid the bottled water at all costs if you can, because a lot of that's just glorified tap water. And another problem with the bottled water too is that often they've been sitting in that bottled water for so long, and it's been proven that the plastic will leach into the water, adding more toxins into your system and microplastics into your system, which is very harmful. And then not only for drinking, you want to look at your daily use water, because remember, your skin absorbs that water as well. So you want to try to get water filters, on the things that you use your daily use for. So like your shower, there's a, Purium, or there's a really great shower filter I use called Pro One. That's the one I like to use. It's like $100 or so. I found this, and it's my water filter is one of the ones that you can like take off and use like the hose, whatever. And I found it's actually increased my like how fast my water comes out compared to like the normal shower filters most places have. Every time I put that one on, it just my water pressure is instantly better, which is nice. But I also feel comfortable because I know that there's not those chemicals just being absorbed into my skin as I'm showering, and it feels better. So, you know, filter out your water. Look at what you're in. A good way to see like if your um, state or place is doing water. At least in the states, I don't know if other countries do this. You can usually just Google, what is in my water supply in this state, and it will say, though, they add fluoride, they add chlorine, they add all these things, right? Because I know in Colorado, at least in Parker where I was, they didn't add fluoride. In Tennessee, they did, in Knoxville, and also here in South Carolina, they do as well, which is a little frustrating. But I make sure I protect myself and my family from it. The next thing, oh, and something else we want to talk about with the water is when you're drinking it, because when you're drinking your water is actually very important as well. So you want to be drinking your water at the right time. You want to avoid drinking a lot of water during meals or a lot of liquids during meals in general. And a lot of people might think this is like, whoa, what? Because at least in our society, in American society, I don't know, I was always growing up with having a drink at the table. You always have a drink with your meal. You have your water, you have your milk, you have a soda, you have whatever, right? You have some kind of drink with your meal. But the problem is when you are having these drinks with your meal, you're actually diluting your stomach acid. And that stomach acid is there to be able to help break down your foods so that you can get the nutrients you need within your foods. So avoid drinking a lot of water during your meals. If you have to have a sip to cleanse your palate or because your mouth gets dry, that's okay, right? but avoid just gulping down a whole lot of water. So a good kind of rule is about 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. So 15 minutes before, you can drink like a glass of water, and it's actually been proven if you drink a glass of water 15 minutes before, it can help start building up the stomach acid within your stomach. And then by the time you're ready to eat, it'll be ready and kind of went through your system, especially if you're on unless you have like a bunch of food in your system already before you're eating, then you might not want to drink that full glass of water because your stomach's still digesting it. But if your stomach is mostly empty at that point, drink that water so you can build that stomach acid. Like in the early in the morning, like after you've brushed your teeth and done the tongue scraping, right? You can have a glass of water, then wait 15 minutes and then eat your food. And that'll be much better for digesting and overall just better for your health. And then wait about 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes afterwards to start drinking water or liquids again. So that pretty much covers the water portion of it. The next are more like mental kind of work things that we can do that will help you lose weight or help increase your health. So what I want to talk about is surrounding yourself with positive images and influences. So why is this important in becoming healthier and losing weight, right? Many people wouldn't put these two things together. And this is why I'm talking about a holistic picture. I'm looking about the grand overall picture. How do all these things that we're doing in our life affect us? Because what I've been taught is from a holistic perspective with Paul Chek. And it's so important that you look at everything overall because everything affects us. Everything we do in our life has an effect on us. And the people we sit with, the people we hang out with, the things that we watch, those things are influencing us to take certain actions and influencing our body to try to mimic those things as well. So if you are surrounding yourself with negative imagery, like people eating fast food all the time or watching, Shameless or something like that, where they're just in constant like shit show status and they're like beating themselves up, abusing themselves nonstop, then you're going to be wanting to mimic that. And this more has to do with like how to avoid the self-sabotaging actions. Because like, let's say you want to be eating healthier, you want to start detoxing, you want to be able to start doing these things, you want to be able to start exercising, right? But you keep finding yourself going back to the opposite of the thing. There's a reason why. There's a part of your mind that is drawn to the familiar. So the more familiar something is, the more times you see something, and the more times that, the more things that you're surrounded with that have that same thing in common, the more you'll be drawn to it. So that's why you got to remove those negative influences. You got to start watching those terrible TV shows. You got to start, stop, maybe even stop, or maybe limiting your time with your friends who are going out to fast food restaurants all the time or going out to the bars all the time if you want to stop drinking, right? Because the more you see it, the more you'll be wanting to do it. And that's just the way that our mind works, right? So start providing yourself better imagery, and who we hang out with is usually who we become. So the more times you go do something with someone, the more you're going to be drawn to it. The more people that are in your group that are doing something, the more you're likely to do it. That's why peer pressure works. That's why peer pressure is so powerful, because it affects this part of the mind that wants to fit in, that wants to be safe with the larger group, with the larger tribe. So surround yourself with this positive images and influences. Start cutting out the negative influences and images. The next one you want to do is visualize what you want in your head. A lot of people don't know what they want. They say, I want to be healthier. I want to lose weight. Okay, but what does that look like? What is your healthy weight look like? And I think it's also important to address kind of the false healthiness that a lot of our society promotes. Like a lot of the women who are just not actually healthy, they're like super skinny and they don't eat healthy at all, and they are essentially like anorexic or things like that, and they starve their bodies of food to become like the perfect model or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like becoming healthy, with having muscle on your body, having a good healthy balance with your body. What does that look like? Visualize in your head. Your mind is drawn to what you see. So the more times you visualize it, the more you're going to be drawn to it. And now you can't just do the visualization without actually taking action. So you want to visualize it and then start taking actions towards that thing as well. And what you can do as well with the visualization is start using positive words, positive thoughts to associate with that visualization. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. You know, you don't have to be the perfect person. You don't have to be exactly where you want to accept yourself as you are. It's actually it's very, very important that you accept yourself now, because there's so many people who are, healthy or have the perfect body or have, the money or whatever, but they still dislike themselves. They still feel like they need something else. And that's because they're relying on some kind of external source. They're relying on some kind of thing to provide that happiness. But the thing is, the happiness comes from within us. That acceptance comes from within us. And we're allowed to use that acceptance towards ourselves. We just have to be the ones to do it. We just have to be the ones to stay consistent enough to make that a normal feeling in our lives. So accept yourself now. You are enough. You've always been enough. And this is kind of important to think about. When you were a baby, you never had these beliefs that, you were too fat, that you didn't fit in, that you weren't smart enough, that you weren't all these things. When you were a baby, you knew that you were loved and that you deserved love. You knew that when you wanted to eat, and you ate. But we have lost track of these things. We've started to gain beliefs from other people around us, from the experiences we've experienced. Someone told us we were ugly, someone told us we were fat, and we started to believe it. We saw that all the images of the perfect models online. We started to believe that we weren't good enough because of that. But those things are not true. Those things are things we've allowed ourselves to believe, and they're self-sabotage. So stop sabotaging yourself and start to let yourself feel good with where you are now. And feeling good with where you are now doesn't mean you have to stop and just be like, okay, I'm just going to be, fat like this and enjoy myself. You know, you still can take actions towards where you want. Love yourself now, accept yourself now. It's like, okay, this is where I am, and I know I need to make better choices with my life, but I still love myself for who I am. I still accept myself, because that obesity, those diseases, those things that those negative habits, that's not who you are. That's something you've learned. That's something you've gained onto your body. Because if you were skinny or fat, you'd still be the same person, right? That's not your identity. You got to stop letting it be your identity. You're not an obese person. Right now you are obese, but you can change that. You can move towards something. So accept yourself for who you are as a person and move towards what you want in life. Instead of using that energy to feel bad about yourself or to dwell on that negativity, use your energy to focus on what you want, visualize what you want, say what you want to hear from other people towards yourself, because the awesome thing is your mind will accept it either way. Your subconscious mind, and this is the part of your mind that I've been talking about for a while, that's drawn to the familiar things, will accept what you're saying to yourself as if someone else said it. And it will say, oh yeah, I am healthy. I am, a smart person. I am a beautiful person. And you accept yourself now, start moving towards where you are, because you are enough as you are now. And you can continue becoming even better than you are. You can continue loving yourself and showing yourself that love, and becoming more and being proud of yourself and being proud of your actions. And then the last one I want to talk about is listening to what your body wants you to eat. Now, part of this could just be like, you have a gut feeling and it says like, you should eat this. But the main way that a lot of people have to do it until they can be able to speak with themselves on that level is to be able to do muscle testing. Now, a lot of people might not know what muscle testing is, and muscle testing is really just asking yourself a question and then testing your muscles for a yes or no response. And why does this work? Well, this is actually, your body is controlled by your mind, right? So your subconscious mind is actually in control of your whole body. So whenever you're hungry or have to go to the bathroom, that's your subconscious mind sending you the hunger signals or sending you the urge to go to the bathroom. So this same part of your mind, it's like you're speaking with it. you're asking it, what should I be eating? What should I be consuming? Is this going to be good for me? Is this going to be bad for me? How much of this should I have? Those are the kind of questions you can ask through muscle testing. And I'm going to be releasing a video as well. And I'll try to put the link in. Actually, I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can check out the muscle testing video if you guys would like to, because it's very cool. And I learned it from Paul Chek, who's a great master in health, but it's called the duck-bill muscle testing method. So if you're interested in learning that, listen to what your body needs, because all these diets, all these fads, all these things aren't going to be what you need. Everyone usually has a different imbalance of nutrients in their system. Everyone usually has a different lifestyle, at least a little bit. And you need to address what your body is missing with nutrient wise. You need to address what toxins you have in your body. So you need to listen to yourself. You need to trust yourself and learn to listen to what your body's saying and saying what you need. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast, all about becoming healthier, losing weight, and really overall holistic health. So the 12 things, and there might have been a little bit more within that we talked about today, were brushing your teeth and scraping your tongue in the morning before you do anything. Avoiding toxic hand sanitizers and soaps. Remember, they kill the good bacteria in our bodies since our skin absorbs what it puts onto it. So avoid those toxic products. Look at the ingredients within your products that you use and ask yourself, lotions, deodorants, all those things. Consume products that provide a healthy bacteria for your stomach. You want to be able to provide in your stomach with a good bacteria, with a good microbiome. So your gut has a good health. You want to get that balance of 85% good bacteria to 15% bad. You want to get yourself back into balance, especially if you had antibiotics recently. It's even more likely that you're going to have a really low amount of good bacteria in your system. You can eat the pickled foods and take the probiotics and things like that. Next, you want to be able to eat that organic whole foods. You want to get the nutrients in your system. You want to be able to avoid those toxins. You want to be able to purchase things that are going to get you healthier and not lead you down towards a life of more sickness, of more disease, of low energy, of an early death, essentially. Then when you stop putting in those toxic products into your life, you start to detox. And you want to detox those harmful chemicals and toxins out of your system. You want to let go of those, toxins and chemicals, so that your body's able to function more. You're able to have more energy. Your body's able to have a better immune system. Then you can lose that weight, right? Because your body won't need the fat cells to store the toxins. Then you want to look at exercising. And remember, exercising can help with detoxing, with sleeping, but overall body function, because your body is meant to be moving. We're meant to be roaming. We're meant to be moving throughout the day. And you want to get good sleep. You want to get a good night's sleep. Avoid those screens. Avoid the products that are going to be keeping you up at caffeine, and avoid the bright lights. Then you want to a clean source of drinking water, right? Remember, not only for drinking, but also for daily use. Look into water filters. Look into what's in your water supply. Then look at surrounding yourself with positive images and influences. What are you seeing every day? Who are you hanging out with? Why is it that you're taking the actions that you're taking? Remember, then use the visualization in your head. Visualize what you want. Use the positive words and imagery to associate yourself with something good. Remember, your mind can't tell the difference between fiction and reality, can't tell the difference between someone else and you saying something. So you can say these things for yourself, and they're even more impactful. And you're able to do it all the time, which is the most amazing thing. You don't have to wait for someone else to say it to you. You can say it to yourself now, and you can feel good about it. That brings me to one of the other points. Love yourself and accept yourself now. You are enough. You are enough as you are now. Loving yourself now and accepting yourself now does not mean you can't move forward in life. And the last part is listen to what your body wants you to eat. So many of us have lost touch of what we want with our bodies, or of listening to our bodies and our minds. So listen to what you should be eating. Do the muscle testing and check out the video. Let me know if you have any questions about it. We'd love to answer any questions you do have. And if you have any questions about any of these points, always feel free, like, you can reach out to me. Or if you want to look into the products that I'm taking, I can give you the link to them. And actually, I have a great discount on a lot of that Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Kit. You can get the Biomedic, you can get the cherry juice, you can get the super cleanser, and you can get the organic superfoods, all in a great pack, and I can get you a 25% discount on it. So you can start building your health right away. You can start detoxing yourself at the same time, and you can start moving towards something better. You can start creating a better lifestyle for yourself, and you can do it actually in a very cheap way, because remember, it can be expensive to eat organic, and I totally support eating organic foods and things like that. But if you don't have the money to, or the time to be able to make yourself that healthy food, then you need to find alternatives to be able to supply those good, nutrients to your body, and to be able to avoid putting those toxins into you. So look into some green powders, look into some green juices. This is probably one of the best products I have found out there. And that's why, I even went into being promoting them, because I found that they are so helpful and so good for your body, and I enjoy drinking them. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this podcast today. Once again, like, if you need to reach out to me, either for the health stuff or the self-sabotage, if you know what you want to do, if you know all this information already, but you keep taking the wrong actions, reach out to me. That's somewhat normal. And it is normal, because that's where your mind works, right? So you just need to learn the way your mind works, how to convince your mind to move towards something better. And I can give you all that information. I can give you the health information. I can give you the information about how to overcome self-sabotage. So not only can you have the knowledge that you need to move forward in life, but you can address your self-sabotaging habits. You can move forward in life at a quick rate, and you can get rid of that extra weight. You can start feeling like you have more energy again. You don't have to be a slave to caffeine. You don't have to be a slave to your prescription pills that you rely on every single day. You're able to move forward. You don't have to be tied down like that in life. Anyways, I love you guys all. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and please tune in this upcoming Sunday for my interview with another person who's going to be sharing their self-sabotage story. And remember, all of us can overcome self-sabotage. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you've experienced in your life. If you're a man or a woman, how old you are, we're all able to overcome self-sabotage. Thank you.